Hello everybody! Hello everyone, how are you today? Let's start with a technical checkup. Do you see and hear me well? Let's check the sound. Do you see? Do you hear me? Let me know in the comments, in the chat please, to make sure everything works well. Great. Thank you, Arpan. So, it's so great to see you all here today. Let me know in the chat where you're joining us from. Are we reaching people from all around the world? I'm curious to see your locations. I would like to greet all of you in the chat. Nice, nice. India, Arpan. Arpan is from India. Good to see you here. Let's wait a while for everyone to settle in, to connect to this live. I'm so excited about the masterclass that we are going to pass through today together. So how are you? Are you all good? Hi Maria from Ukraine. Hello, welcome to our masterclass. So good to see you in this live. So while we wait a bit for everyone to settle in, I would like to ask you something. How do you feel at the end of this year? Did it meet your expectation? Or maybe even surprised you with something? And have you started setting up the dreams and the goals for the next year? Drop your thoughts in the chat. I'm so curious and I'd love to find out more about this. Was this a good year in professional way? Or you have more to work on this way, in this way for the next year, maybe? Hello, hello again. We are glad to see each of you in this live masterclass. Still curious, where are you watching us from? So let us know your location. That's a good point for us to know where are people connecting from. It was productive. The year was very productive and challenging. Challenging just makes us grow, so it's good. This means that it was a good year. Okay, Arpan. I hope that today's masterclass will help you improve your rendering skills. So we'll see. We are waiting for your insights here in the chat while we will be creating some interesting stuff. Pedro from Portugal. Hi, Pedro. Good to see you here. Welcome to our live. I'm from Moldova, so Maria, we are neighbors somehow. It's Eastern Europe. Okay. Okay. So I think we will begin, not waiting too much. So I would like to welcome you to our masterclass from blueprint to final render. It will be about modern kitchen visualization. As you know, I think so. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Maria, and I'm an architect. I'm a designer and certified instructor specializing in interior visualization. Over the years, I've worked on countless projects. But here's the thing, it wasn't always easy. I made every mistake you can think of when I started, but as I learned the hard way, now I'm here to help you to improve and achieve professional results faster. So I'm also co-founder of the Edit Academy, together with Vlad, and we specialize in providing 3D visualization courses tailored to both beginners and those looking to refine their skills. We've been teaching 3D visualization for over 9 years, and nothing excites me more than helping others to bring their creative visions to life. Our courses are designed to give you practical and real-world experience. Whether you are just starting or want to take your skills to the next level, we are here to support every step on the way. And today's masterclass is a little preview of what we offer. So, now let's talk about what you can expect from today's session. So we'll be diving into how to model custom kitchen cabinets step by step. Perfect for creating unique designs. Lighting techniques that will set the perfect mood and achieve photorealism in your renders. And material creation that will bring depth, texture, and realism to your scene. By the end of this session, you'll see how we transform a blueprint into a stunning, fully rendered kitchen, modern kitchen. This is going to be a fast-paced, hand-on session, so feel free to take notes and ask questions in the chat. My goal is to leave you here feeling inspired and equipped to take your 3D skills to the next level. Does it sound good? Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you are ready to start. Let's see your thumbs up. Are we ready to go ahead? I'm so excited about what comes. So let me know if you are on the same vibe with me. Great. Thank you, guys. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Let's jump right in. We are going to start by setting up the base structure and modeling the cabinets. Before we start modeling, let's take a moment to talk about kitchen design and why having accurate blueprints is absolutely essential. When you are designing a kitchen, whether for yourself, for a client, or maybe it is a part of a project you are working on, it's not just about making it look great. It's most about function and the flow. Kitchens are one of the most used spaces in every home, so every detail matters. The layout, proportions, storage, lighting, and even materials. And all of that starts with a solid foundation, the blueprint. Here is the thing, without the accurate blueprint, you are guessing. And in 3D modeling, guessing leads to problems. Misaligned cabinets, awkward layouts, or even a design that doesn't work in the real world. I'm really curious, what's your approach to start modeling when starting modeling a project? Do you meticulously prepare accurate blueprints related to your space, or do you find a nice 3D model over the internet of the kitchen and spend hours trying to make it fit in your project? Let me know, what is your go-to method? Are you working on the technical aspects in a blueprint before starting modeling, or are you using ready-to-use models and trying to fit it in your space? I'm really curious. Let me know in the chat. I'm waiting for your comments, for your messages, to make sure you are all here with me. Okay, while you are giving your responses, I will go forward. So yes, you got me right. Blueprints give you exact measurements and a clear guideline, ensuring that proportions are correct so everything fits perfectly. Layouts are functional, making the space easy and comfortable to use. Your model is true to life and ready to impress clients who are used as a blueprint for actual construction. So I think you understand that having a blueprint helps you make it like real life. Yeah, you don't have to guess and to try to fit other kitchen in your space, so that it can happen that it won't work for your project. So starting with a blueprint is my first recommendation when we start talking about kitchen. So when we work in 3ds Max, the blueprint becomes a guide. It ensures we model with accuracy and efficiency. By following a blueprint, you can focus on a creative aspect, like choosing materials and lighting, and not worrying about whether the basics are good, whether the functionality will work in this project. So that's why today we are starting with a blueprint. I'll show you how to use it to model a stunning, functional, modern kitchen step by step. By the end, you'll see how this simple document can lead to a professional, photorealistic result. Ready? Now let's make some magic happen. Okay, so I will show you the blueprints I've prepared in AutoCAD. I'm curious what application do you use when talking about blueprints. So here you can see the floor plan and the front views of the main kitchen and the island that I'll have in my project. So here are the blueprints with the exact measurements that I need to fit perfectly in this project. So let's see what we do next. Having these drawings prepared previously, so I will open 3ds Max and I'll show you the space I have already prepared for this project. What you can see in here are the walls, the flooring, the windows, even the blinds that will help us get a nice lighting. Yeah. And what I'll do next will be importing the AutoCAD file, I mean the .dwg file, that will help me a lot while modeling exactly the kitchen I need in my situation. So for importing an external file, we have to access the file menu, going to import, and I will use my prepared DWG file, the blueprint. Go ahead with open. Of course, here we have some options for importing, which are really important. So first of all, I make sure that I have checked the rescale option and that the units of incoming file fits my units in 3ds Max, so that the scale will be 1:1, so that will be exactly the same as in real life. Another moment that I pay attention in here is importing the blueprints as one object. I don't need different parts of the blueprint staying apart, so I just need this object like reference, so I will import it as a one object. Then going ahead with OK button, so I will get the same blueprint right here in 3ds Max. You can see it in here, but to make sure I have the all layout I need for the kitchen, the reference blueprints are right in place, I will convert this line to editable spline, and I will separate the floor plan with each of the frontal views. In this way, working with spline mode, I will select each frontal view separately and detach it to have them separate. Okay, the same with the second one. Okay, so what I'll do next, I will rotate these two frontal views in vertical position. What will make these blueprints placed vertically right close to my plan. In this way, using a rotate tool, I will rotate it on 90 degrees. To make sure I'm working accurately, I will use angle snap toggle. Also, because the pivot point was in the center of the entire drawing, I would prefer to center it to this drawing. To make this, I will use hierarchy panel, affect pivot only, and center to object. It will make it easier to control this drawing. So I will rotate it on 90 degrees. The same with the second one. And what I'll do next, I will move them to fit my plan. Right here. This one is related to island, so I will use as well. Pay attention that I'm using snaps. Snaps are helping me a lot organizing objects and aligning them to each other so they do not intersect or they are perfectly aligned. So if you want to see what snaps I'm using, I have almost all the time vertex, endpoint, and midpoint, and others just I'm checking them just in case certain cases when I need them. And one more option, I have checked enable access constraint, which makes me constrain the movement of objects on certain axes, which makes it work much easier and aligning it perfectly. So I will constrain it on z-axis now and make sure that this is aligned perfectly on the floor plan. So what I've got now are these drawings aligned this way, which now I will move right to my space. Okay. So here we go. You can see it in here. Yep. I think we are good now. One more thing I'm trying to do usually is to organize objects on certain layers. So I'm using Layer Explorer. I have already some layers in here, as I've prepared the appliances, some decor, furniture, and lighting options that I will unhide when our kitchen will be ready. So I will make sure that I'm working on a separate layer, or maybe in this case I can use the default one where I have the cameras and I have now the blueprint. So we'll come back to the layers a little bit later, as it is important to have all the objects organized logically in our scene. So next I will select the blueprint. Okay. Isolate them using isolate selection. The hotkeys are Alt plus Q in case you need them. Maybe I will keep for now just the back part of the kitchen and the floor plan. I will come back to islands a little bit later. So I will have just these two. And now let's start modeling. Let's see how can we create really quickly and accurately this kitchen. So I will start by working with box as a geometry. So what I will do first, I will create the cabinets, the lower cabinets of this kitchen from the middle, and I will start by using snap mode over the drawing, which will help me get the exactly position of this box and to align it as well. Okay, here we go. Next, I will convert it to editable poly. So I'm trying usually to focus more on what we really see in the visualizations. So I'm not working too much in the interior of the kitchen, so I will not make all the shelves or all the stuff inside, which are under the front, behind the fronts, but instead I will be using a lot, working more detailed on what we see in the front and making the details more realistic where they are visible. This makes the scene not that complex, easier to work, and in this way we can try to make it work better. Okay, just a moment. To make sure you have all the settings available on your screen. Okay, next, after I've converted it to editable poly, I will make a few changes, and first will be this part. I will move it a little bit inside, as usually in the bottom of the kitchen cabinet we have that that part that is a little bit behind, which makes comfortable to place our feet behind. So I will move it on a certain distance, so I will use right click on move button, and in relative coordinates I will give the distance I need on the y-axis. So in my case it will be about 50 millimeters. Okay. I will come back to that. Now I will go on with the next box that will fit right in here. It will be the part that will be a little bit coming in front. This will help us see the construction, the main elements of the kitchen. So converting it to editable poly. If I want to have them in the same, to have it in the same editable poly, I can just activate element mode and copy it on the other end. So I will use Ctrl plus Shift and drag on the needed axis, which will make me a copy of this element. Okay, just placing it in the right place. Okay, next I will move on to front view, where I have the front I need in here. So in this case, for quick modeling the front, I will use a plane and I will make it fit right in here and add the number of segments I need to fit exactly with my blueprint. So let me move it in front to see you what I've got in here. So here you go. And now I think I have here some special actions that will help you just save a lot of time while creating front in 3ds Max. So what I will do in here, I will convert this plane to editable poly. I will select all the polygons inside editable poly. Ctrl A help you select all of them. And you know that front usually looks more realistic when you have the rounded edges, when you have the gapping, the needed gapping between them. So what we'll do now, we'll add that specific gapping around this each front, so it will look great and we'll get it really fast and quick. So what we'll use here will be inset. I will use settings to make sure it will work good for me. So inset settings. I will use the amount I need for gapping. It will be about 2 millimeters on each side. And as we have multiple polygons now selected, we'll get these 2 millimeters around the entire selection. What we need in this case is using by polygon and getting the same gapping, the same distance, the same inset for each polygon I have selected. What will do that? I will check OK to make it, to place it with these settings. And now what I need is just to inverse selection using Ctrl plus E plus I and delete these polygons, which will make the needed gapping available now on our front. Of course, we won't leave these fronts so thin. We need to add some thickness to these polygons. A faster way to do it is using the shell modifier, and to control whether we want to add this thickness inside or outside. In my case, it will be outer amount. I will make it 20. Here, make sure you have auto smooth edge unchecked and straighten corners as well. And for getting a nicer edges, which should be somehow rounded, or we never have fronts with sharpened edges. So I will convert it again to editable poly and apply one more modifier, which is called chamfer. I don't know if you ever used this, but I think it's a genius modifier. It applies a faster result. So I will just go ahead and change the amount, the radius I need for the edges. It will apply to all simultaneously. So I will use a 1 millimeter radius. I will make 3 segments in here, and one more thing I set up in here is smoothness. I don't like having smoothness on entire polygon, which gives some unwanted shadows, so I use chamfer, smooth chamfer only. Change this and it will have a big impact. Okay, here we are with the front. Now we need to do something with this space and to add the handle. I think I will add a hidden handle for the entire length of this cabinet. I will show you an example what I'm thinking about. It will be an L-shaped handle, which will be right behind the front, which will make it look much better. So in this case, I will be using a simple line from top view, and to make sure I'm drawing a straight line that has no deviation on the Z direction, I will use snapping in 2.5 mode, which helps me allows me using snaps whatever I need, but will keep my drawing planar. It will be just in 2 directions, y and x and y. So I will draw this line in here. Next, I will move this line somewhere above, I think over here, and you can see it in here. Let me show you. So this is my line, and next I will use another modifier called sweep. I'm curious if you ever used sweep and in which cases have you used this. So I will have the sweep modifier, and we'll have to do some changes in here. First of all, I use angle built-in section. Next, I will control the length and the thickness and the width of these. So for the length, I will use somewhere about 60 millimeters. I will take it later if it's good or not. To make sure that all this profile is aligned is aligned on down and on left, I will use the pivot alignment and choose the right position I need for that, for this profile. So I will use the left top corner, which will completely move my shape in the right position. So next, I have to make sure I have the needed length. Maybe I will make it not that deep. I will move it a bit forward. So I will use in here somewhere about 20 millimeters. And the thickness of this will be about maybe 6. Okay. Okay, then I'll do it 30. So to make sure I have enough space for the fingers when we try to open the door. Okay, so what we've got here is an L-type profile right behind the front, all across the cabinet. Next, I will add some refinements, adding the corner radius that will make it look, oops, not here, corner radius, maybe 3 millimeters in here, something in here, and a bit edge radius. Okay, here we go. Here is the front and here is the handle. Now I'll come back to my box that the main cabinet, what is behind the front, and we'll make some changes in here to make it fit over the handle and up to the cabinet. So in this way I will select these three elements to make sure you see it clearly, so I will isolate them. And for this box, it is already converted to editable poly. I will add some swift loops. You can find it in the ribbon, modeling, edit, swift loop, and add some edges, which will make me control better what I need. Making sure these are perfectly aligned with the cabinets. And what I'll do next, I will extrude this polygon. Let's see. I think we are good. And this one too. Oh, this one. And once again for this one. But this time a little bit, not that much. It will be about 20. Okay, that's good. And I will have to select again all my objects to isolate them in order to continue working with my kitchen. Yeah, here we go. So now I will attach all the back side of the cabinets in one object. For that I will select any of them, use attach and add the other one. And as we know that all the elements should be looking better in this way like we've used for the front, I will just copy, okay, just a moment. I will just copy the chamfer modifier I've used in here with all the settings already in place, copying with right click copy. Then I will paste what I've copied on the cabinets. So I've selected the other ones, right click, paste. So I will get the same rounded edges. Look how nice it looks right now. We have this box inside, which is usually common for kitchens. We have the fronts, which are all exactly the same dimension, and they are all looking good now. And we have the handle, which is inside. We have that space where we can get our fingers to open the door. Yeah. So next, let's go to the countertop. This way I will add one more box, which will fit my entire, so making sure I start where I need. Okay. I will set up the height I need and move it on right on top. I need it to get a bit in front, right, to align right with the cabinet, with the front. So what I'll use in here, after converting it to editable poly, I will just move these end vertices to fit my front. And again, using right click and paste to use the same chamfer to it. So here we go. So I want to see if you are still here with me. Just want to make sure that you are on the same vibe and everything is clear. Let me know in the chat. I want to continue that, but I still want to see that you are here with me. Okay. Because next we will move to the other cabinets we have in here. Okay, I see your comments now. So I will move on. So for these two cabinets, actually, here is supposed to be the place for the integrated refrigerator. So we'll have the same fronts, and we'll have vertical hidden handles in here, right in the middle. Okay, so I will use the same technique, but there will be small differences in here. So I will place, and so to make sure I'm working easily on vertical position 2, I have to change the snapping mode to 3D. It allows me using the blueprints from the plan as well with the frontal one. Okay, here we go. Next, I will convert this box to editable poly. Activate the axis, and using the element selection, I will make a copy inside the same editable poly to create copies inside an editable poly. Always use Control and Shift while copying, because it doesn't work the same as in the scene. In editable poly, Shift plus Control plus Shift and move. Yeah, these two hotkeys with move will help you create copies or cloning. So I will do the same in here, and one more at the end. So I will get in this way the lateral walls of these two cabinets. More than that, I will select these two and make them shorter, just aligning them to this blueprint. Okay. Next, I will add 2 more boxes to fill in this space. Again, I do not pay too much attention in the interior. It can be sometimes if I have open shelves, or if I have some niches that are opened and I need them to, they are directly visible. If they are not, I used a box like this or even nothing. It depends on situation. So next, I will make a copy of it in the next place. And let's move off to the front. For the front, I'll do the same. I'll use the same technique. I will create a plane. This plane I won't divide in segments, so I will leave it as one polygon for now. Convert it to editable poly, and to get the necessary fronts, I will add swift loops inside the editable poly to make sure I get the right separate fronts. So in this way, I will make sure I align them to make them fit exactly to the blueprint. Okay, let's move it up front. Here it is. Now, in the middle we'll have vertical hidden handles, so I will delete these polygons. And now I will select all of them, the same technique. Okay, inset settings. Use the same gapping with 2 millimeters and use by polygon to have this gapping around each front. Okay, Control plus E to invert selection again and delete those polygons. Now to add thickness, I will use again shell modifier. Already 3ds Max remembers the last setting, so once you've used it and set it up, the second time it will bring you the same settings, and it makes it much easier to work with. So next, with right click, I will paste the same chamfer, but before I prefer to convert it to editable poly. I usually recommend converting to editable poly at the end everything you've modeled, as it will make the model easier and won't need too much memory to use, on your computer. So we'll come back to it later. Okay, here are the front. Let me show you. Next, I will fill this space in here with another back polygon and copy it to the opposite side. And now we have to do these handles, and maybe I will show you here another way. It can work as well as the one with the sweep we've done previously. So in this case, I will use the same. I will be working with splines. So I will create a line which will fit, making sure working with 2.5 snapping. Okay. Otherwise, one vertex can be on the bottom of the cabinet, the other one on the top, so it won't work well. So I've got this line. Next, I will extrude it using extrude modifier, which will make to fill the entire height. Let's go with, I don't remember for sure what is the exact amount, but I will figure it out right now. Okay, I think it will be a 16 here. And to get the same thickness we need for this handle, I will convert it to editable poly. Works better, and go with shell to give the thickness for this handle. So here we go. Let me show you. Again, convert it to editable poly. Sorry, not mesh, poly. It's more professional using poly. Okay, and then we can place the same chamfer to get the rounded edges. Next, I will mirror it on X axis, making a copy. Okay, and just placing it right here. So here we have this side modeled too. For the right side, I will make a copy of this one, as we have almost the same cabinets, just we'll need to add some place for the oven and microwave, and to move a little bit the position of the height of the front. So I will go ahead and select all these elements and create a copy using Shift plus Move on the XY axis. Don't make it instance if you don't need them to be exactly the same. If you do that, you will get the same changes on the original, so you won't need them. In this situation, of course. Maybe in the others it should work. So I'm going to front view. I will go back to editable poly and select this front. aligning them to the position in the blueprint. In this side, I need to move to change the height of this front to fit my appliances position. So I will select the top of this front and just move it down in here. Okay. Next, I will do the same with these two, but I need them to be converted to editable poly, and maybe to attach them as a whole. It will make process easier and faster. There are no wrong ways if you get the right result, but usually what makes the difference is the time you spend for achieving the needed result. So sometimes it's better just to choose the quicker method, the quicker way that makes you create your models. I need here my oven and my microwave, so I will open the layer toggle to bring them in here. So I will turn on the appliances layer. I have prepared it. I've prepared it previously to make sure I have them in here. So I will use them just to make sure I will align the objects of the cabinets, the elements of the cabinets with the appliances. Okay, I will make a copy of it right in above. Oh, not this way. I've got too many things selected. So in this way I will use y-axis with shift, align them perfectly above, and make sure that bottom sides will fit my appliance. And one more problem in here is the hidden handle that should be interrupted right where I have the appliances. So I will use vertices, which I will use to shorten the handle in here. And next I will go with Control Shift Copy. Sorry, not that much, just the handle, just Shift and copy. And extend it to the top. Okay, here we've got that too. You can see it in here. Next, we have in here also a stove that need to have a gap, a hole in here, because it needs an element to be cut it in this place. So what I'll be using, the same swift looping around the that place, and then using polygon mode, I will use the top and bottom polygon here and bridge them to create a hole in this countertop. You can see it in here, yeah? Great. Okay, we'll move on to the, not that much. I need my objects back. Okay, so now we'll go ahead with the top panels. Here we'll do them really quickly using the plane, the same as we have used for the technique we've used for the front, for the cabinets, yeah. So I will add the necessary vertical segments you see in here. So I'll move it right where I need it on the wall. convert it to editable poly, select polygon mode, Ctrl A, then inset settings, the same 2 millimeters by polygon. Okay, Ctrl E, delete. I'll make it faster to not to spend too much time on what I've explained already. So now going ahead with shell modifier. Let me see, the thickness is in the right direction, yes, but I need it 20. And again with chamfer. We'll have in here some shelves that I've prepared, and I will activate them a little bit later. And now let's move on to our backsplash. In this case, we have an unusual backsplash, as it will be created by lighting boxes. So it will be interesting, not just modeling them, but as well creating the material to look realistic in this case. So we'll move on to front view. Again, starting with a plane, I will create the needed segmentation. I will add the needed number of segmentation to fit my blueprint. It will be around 23 on width and 5 on height in my situation. So if you want to see it, I will move it a bit forward. Okay, here you go. It fits perfectly. And convert it to editable poly. Select all the polygons, creating a kind of frame around each block. We'll be doing that again with the inset settings by polygon, somewhere around 5 millimeters. Okay, and to get a kind of beveled effect for each tile, each glass block, I will use an bevel setting option from here with the same polygon selected. But before doing that, not to forget, is separating the polygons by IDs, because it will be needed when working with the materials. So in this way, I will use for the main blocks ID 1, Ctrl E to select all the others, I mean the framing. So here I will use the ID 2. Now I'll come back to the blocks. So using a bevel option from here, bevel settings, I will get my needed profile, so needed aspect. I will go ahead with 5 millimeters for extrude amount and somewhere -15 to get the outline in this way. So here we go. We've got the blocks. Okay, next we'll move to the island. I will activate the blueprint for my island. Here I will use a box for the main island. I will have in this situation, let me open the render maybe to show you, for instance. Okay, so we'll have here this island that have kind of fence around. So, and here is the main dining place. It's turning to dining table. So we have these two separate elements that will create one by one. Okay, so in this case, I'm starting with the main island, and in here, what I need is to convert it to editable poly. I will keep just the needed objects because the main kitchen is somehow ready. So I will isolate the main the main objects I need. It will be the floor plan, the island blueprint, and the box I started to model. So in here, I will, we have here, actually, it can be seen from here, but it's an effect of floating island. So that's why I will move the bottom polygon a little bit higher. So I have it from blueprint. I will align it from front in here. Okay, and to get the main element, which is the base of the island, I will select the polygon on the bottom, and I will use an inset of 130 in here and extrude to get this element a little bit inside. So let me make sure I'm aligned with the blueprint. So here I am. Okay, next I need to add some details to this island to make it looking better. So I will add some swift loops to get the elements I have in here. To align them exactly the distance I need, I will use edge mode. I will align it. Okay, it was deselected. I will align it with my blueprint. Yeah, the same in here, and one more in here. It will be on y-axis. Okay. Now I will select the polygons I've got in here and extrude them to get that limitation of the island. Okay, I'll use extrude somewhere around 30. Let me check with the, now it's a little bit higher, so it will be, I will use alignment with the blueprint. So here I got it. For the front, again, I will create a copy of this polygon, Ctrl+Shift+ move. I will create a separate object, so I will check clone to object. And next, I will add some detailing in here too. So selecting, not in this one, in this one, I will select this element and extrude them too. Extrude over 20. It's okay. Also, I'll add one more swift loop. Okay. And it will be here. "20 from above." It will be somehow the effect of countertop that comes in front, so extruding it in the same way will help achieving this result. Now coming back to our fronts right here at the island, I will align it inside, right in here. Move these vertices not to cover the countertop, so it will be somewhere maybe minus, not in here, on that, minus 40. Let me see. A bit more. Okay. And to add the needed segments that will divide my front for this island, I will use edge mode, selecting two opposite edges, and use connect settings, where I will add the necessary amount of divisions or segments I need to add. They will be exactly at the equal distance from each other. And you already know the technique I'm using, so this way I will select all the polygons, inset settings, by polygon 2 millimeters for gapping. Okay, Control E to inverse, delete to erase them. Again, shell, and again paste for chamfering. I need to move them in place. Okay, let me see. Okay, great. So here we go. We've got the front too. What we need more in here will be the sink right in the island. So I can now activate it. So you can see it in here. But I need to add the necessary swift loops to create the necessary hole in here. So in this way I will use swift looping. Actually I have the lines on my blueprint, so I will deactivate for now. It will make me easier to align, to perfectly align these edges, these segments. Okay. To select the entire loop, always use double click. It makes it quicker, in case you didn't use it previously. This way. Okay. Here we go. Now, adding these loops, we've got this polygon that we easily can extrude inside with minus. Let's give it minus 2050. Let's see if it fits for the sink. Great. So here we go. And the last element we have in here is the table. I'll start with a plane. I don't need the segmentation. I will get rid of them. Next, I will move it right on the needed height. Then from the top, converting it to editable poly, I will add a swift loop to align it with the island. Here we go. Next, to have this edge converted to a polygon or somehow grown in this direction, I will hold Shift and use Move on the needed axis. Sorry. Okay. Next, I will select the edges from the end, and the same with Shift and drag. I will add these sides. Next, we can just add shell, making sure that it will go inside, not outside. Okay. Make sure you have straightened corners, otherwise you won't get the same thickness all the way, so it will make it straight, will straighten the corners. And paste for chamfer. The same, we need a island paste chamfer to get that nice touch. Okay, and a few more things in here. We have this table somehow interesting inside. We'll have the same paneling as we had on the back of the kitchen on the wall. So we'll repeat it in here using the needed number of segmentations. Let me check. Okay, here we go. Convert it to editable poly. Select all the polygons, inset, by polygon, 2 millimeters. Okay. Control E, delete. Shell. This time it will be outer mount. And okay, we'll convert it to editable poly. And I think I will take one of these elements and create copy, Control Shift drag with move, clone to element. Make some changes in here. You'll see in the next moment why I've done it. And once again, you can also create copies using rotate tool, and you'll get a copy on 90 degrees or whatever you need. Okay, to have the same gapping in here, I will use move at certain distance, and as well aligning the vertices in here. Yep, here you go. We've got this element. So all these will be part of the table, and here we have the island. Okay, let's see what we have done till now. I have a camera inside, but before watching what we've done, we need general lighting, and in this project I'm using an HDRI map, so we'll have to go ahead and add the main lighting in order to be able to see what to work with materials and to have the base lighting in here. So for that, I will open material library. I will create, okay, let me see in here. I will use a Corona bitmap to add the HDRI map. I think I have the backup, yeah. Just a moment, making sure I find my files in here. So I have an previously prepared HDRI map, which I will be adding in here. Okay. I will place it in environment, so we will see this image outside the windows. So almost all the time I am using color correction to make sure we can get the necessary saturation or the brightness we need outside. So Corona color correction will be the map I will be using it before adding it in environment. Next, I will change the saturation, make it not that colorful. I need it desaturated, so somewhere around in here. I will add a bit of brightness, but we'll check it right after we place it in environment. So where do we set this up? So I'm using Corona as a renderer, but you can use as well V-Ray if you are, it's more common for you. Next, to get the environment, I will add this HDRI to scene environment, and I will check single map in here. So we are in render setup, Corona, scene environment, single map. I will add this color correction, which already is connected to the HDRI, and place it instance in here. Okay. Also, I have my scene prepared with render elements, which means that I have light mix already connected, already activated. I have the environment which will be controlled separately. I have some lighting at appliances. It's more about the oven and microwave. Also, I have some LEDs in ceiling. I have shadow profile in here, which will and I'll show you the effect we get for the ceiling in here. And of course, in case I will need some more outside lighting, I've prepared 2 additional lighting outside the windows. I will show them too in light mix with additional lighting. Okay, let's see what we have in here for now. I will split my window into wireframes, and I will start interactive rendering right here directly in 3ds Max. Okay. Yeah, here we go. I can see something in here. To make sure I have my interior lighting, I mean the ceiling LEDs I've got in here, I will activate their visibility. Okay, here we go. If you are interested what I've used in here, I will show you in a few seconds, just to lock this view in order to have my previews relevant and to make sure that I can go back to my scene and work in here. Nope. Once again, I will use in here camera 1, locking it again. Okay, just a moment. So for this, for the ceiling LED, you can see all across the room. I've got this LED. It's Corona light, rectangle light. You can see here that I've changed the temperature, which makes it warmer, about 3,500 Kelvin, and the intensity usually is set up depending on the certain scene. Also, I will make sure I get a nicer view outside, so you can see a hill or a kind of mountain outside. But what I'll do in here, maybe I will change the camera to show you in the other direction what we've got outside the window. Here I will go to the Corona map where I've loaded the HDRI map, and I will move it a bit lower. Okay, you can see how it goes down. And also you can anytime use rotation angle to get different angles outside. I think it's good this way, 30 degrees. I will keep that. Okay, I'll go back to my interior. So what I've got in here, once again, the HDRI map outside. I have the Corona light added as LEDs around the ceiling across the entire room. And one more thing that I've added in here are 2 planes which are positioned this way. Why are they here in this case? Let me show you the difference. I don't want to get overexposed exterior lighting, but in order to have enough lighting inside, I've added 2 let me show you two outside lights. Here you go, how it looks without them and how it looks with them. It helps bringing a bit more lighting inside. What is important about this is that it doesn't have to be to have the intensity very low. And the second one, that we have to uncheck all the visibility options in here to make sure it won't be visible inside our scene. Okay, make it sense for you right now? Are you still here with me? Can we go ahead with materials? I think I'll start this time with the Backsplash, which is another dose of lighting, because it's a backsplash with lighting box effect. So for creating the material for the Backsplash, I will go ahead to Material Editor. Here to create do you remember we've set up two IDs, the main blocks and the framing around? So I will use, in this case, a multi-sub object material, which will help me separate or use two materials on the same object. How it works? We had the IDs already set up in there, and in here I will use the same number of materials I will need. In this case will be two materials. Okay, for the first material, I will need a Corona Legacy MTL. I will go ahead with Corona materials, but if you prefer using V-Ray, you can use instead V-Ray blend material. It works almost the same, so it's the same effect. So I will go ahead with Corona layered material in here. Okay. And for the second, it will be a Corona Legacy MTL. So in a few seconds, we'll set them up. Okay, in the layered material, we will get here a very nice effect. Hopefully, it will help you achieve nice results in your projects when you'll be using the same technique. So for the base material, I will be using a Corona Legacy MTL, where I will set up the color, which will be, of course, I've prepared some certain colors, and to make them fit, not to spend too much time finding them directly in here, I will use the certain numbers that I've already used previously in the renders you've seen already. So in here it will be something like this. Here we go. It's a very slightly warm white. Then I will go with the maximum reflection and maximum glossiness, which will make that look of glossy glass. Next, for the layer 1, I will be using a Corona light material. Here I will get a warmer light using a certain color as well. In case you'll want to achieve the same result, you can use the same numbers in here. Okay, something not good. It should be around here. Okay. Next, I've got here the intensity 1, and I will use for masking a file of map, which create a gradual directing of these two materials, depending on the angle of view. So in this file of, I will swap the colors to get inside that lighting effect and a kind of polished glass on the edges. So to make it even more interesting, we'll work with the mix curve, where I will add another vertex in here, and I will get an S-type curve. Okay. Here we go. You can see the result in here. And for the second one, maybe we can increase here a little bit intensity, but we'll see in the render preview in a while. Okay, and here we'll have a kind of dark metal. It will be close to black. I will add reflection and a bit of decrease the glossiness to have it not so glossy. Okay, let's apply it to the scene. Here we go. We've got that lighting effect in here. Yep. Maybe we can change the image aspect to vertical to have it on the entire screen. Making it squared, why not? Just to make sure I'm solving the camera position. Okay, I think it will be much better now. Okay, next, let's see what about the cabinets. We have two materials in here. We'll have the light one for the front, and the black one for the back side, and the paneling and the dining table as well. So let's start with the light one. So going with in material library, I will add one more Corona Legacy MTL. Okay, here you go. And to make it work, I will have to get a more realistic touch. I want to mix two colors and to get a more complex effect. So I will use a mix map, where I will set up the two colors I want to mix in this situation. So for the color one, I will use the color with the numbers 174, 173, 171. Okay, it's a kind of warm gray. And for the second, I will use something closer but a little bit darker. That will be really close to the first one. Okay, and next I will mix them with maybe I'll make it a bit darker. Yeah, should work better. And for the mix, how they will mix, I will add a mask effect using a bitmap in the mix amount. And here I'll use, let me find my maps. It will be right here. The dirt map. It is in here. Next, for even better effect, I will use an ambient occlusion, Corona ambient occlusion. It's something close to, similar in V-Ray is V-Ray dirt map, if you ever used. It adds imperfections and it's really nice in getting a nice effect. So this mix color, I will connect to unoccluded color. I don't need the edges to be so dark, so I will change the color for occluded color in here too. So it will be somewhere around, nope, 160. Okay. And I will decrease here the maximum distance, spreading it outside, inside, both sides simultaneously. And I will use the same reflection bitmap, the same dirt bitmap to reflect glossiness. So in the main material, we'll be increasing level to the maximum. Here we'll decrease the glossiness to 0.5. And in order to get this effect, you can see some stains or something, like some places when it's more glossy and some places when it's not that glossy, which is obtained with this kind of maps. But I will decrease this effect a little bit, so in the reflection glossiness amount in the maps, I will make it not at 100% but somewhere 20, around 20. Okay, this will be the material for the main fronts. I have them in here, here, and here. Let's assign it. Of course, we need to add an UVW map in order to have the dirt effect, the imperfection accurately set up. So I will use box and about 150 dimension for this one. If you want to see it in the scene, you can anytime show shaded material in viewport, use this button, and you will be able to see how it will be applied in the scene. Okay. And for the black one material, I will create a copy of this one already set up and just change the colors I want for them. Shift and drag to create copies. And here we'll have the next changes. So in the mix map, the color, the main color will be somewhere around 59. It will be a gray, a dark gray. And here will be around 50. Even slightly darker than previous one. Again, we'll change the occluded color in the ambient occlusion. 15 here. I think we need a little bit higher in here. Okay, just a moment. Yeah, to have a better difference. And let's see how will this work in here. So we have this, the table, all the back elements. Let me quickly select all I need in the scene to be applied. Can even use the handles, but we can use an metal effect for the handles. It depends on the effect you want to get. Okay, making sure I didn't miss anything important in here. Okay, applying it. Yep. Let's see in here. Of course, we have this we need to set up the same UVW map. You can just copy it from here and place it on all the other objects. You'll have it already with the same setup. Look at these nice reflections in here from the Backsplash. Yeah, you can see all these color changing on the table. It's because of the angle, but I can show it in here too. You can see these stains. Yeah, all these imperfections give that unique touch for any interior. And The last material we'll do today will be a travertin for the island and for the countertop. Is this one we've got in here. So for this one we'll be using a Corona Legacy MTL. Okay. In here I'll use a bitmap, but I'll use it through color correction, so I can place it from the first, at the very beginning, adding a bitmap with the travertin in here. So here is the map. I don't want it to be so yellow, so I will use color correction to make it a little bit desaturated. So I will change the saturation to -04 maybe. No, it's too much. Less. Like this. Then I will use okay, I think it's good. Here we'll increase the reflection level to 1, then glossiness to 0.7, but we'll need some more additional maps to get that good look for this material. So I have some more maps prepared for reflection color, which will be this one, then to reflection glossiness, this one, and also for bump, which I will add through normal bump map with the map for normal. Okay, I wanted Corona normal. I think it will work better for us. Let me find it. Yeah. Okay, and I think I will make some changes in here to make sure we have enough reflections. So for the reflection I will make it 50%. I will make it 30% for reflection glossiness to get a better glossy effect, and bump I will decrease to 0.1, maybe 0.2, depending on the effect we want to get. Okay, let's see what we are getting now. I will need to make sure it is applied correctly, so I will need UVW mapping for these two. I know that my image will work well on a length of 3000 millimeters, and also I will change the direction. I think it will be much better on its long way. Yep. I will try to go with the same settings in here, but we'll need to check the direction. In case it won't work, we will change it. I think that's good for now. Okay, so let me open again. Maybe I'll open it in a separate window. Also, I will activate in here the shelves I have prepared, the lighting elements, decor, and the bar stools. Okay, I will do it full screen. Just change a bit. Oh, I think I've missed the elements, the black elements behind the doors, the front. Just one moment. Making sure I have all the necessary materials applied. The black one. Make sure it is visible. Yeah, here you go. Of course, I have some tone mapping prepared in here. I've used simple exposure, I've used some white balance to make it a bit warmer. I've used highlight compression, filmic. Here you got the light highlight compression and rich shadows. I like the effect we got with these post-production elements. The contrast and the LUT, which brings a bit more contrast. If you like that, you can use them whenever you feel you need them. So as a result, you can get this final render with all the materials on all the main cabinets modeled by yourself. And it can be adjusted to any kitchen design which you think it's good for your project. So I will show you a few more renders I have for this scene. Okay, here you go. I like the shadowing, the lighting effect that we've got in here too. Some details, yeah. Using depth of field in camera always is a good idea when you want to point out an element in interior. Yep, and here we go. Here is the scene we've made today in here. I would like to see how do you feel about this masterclass? Did you like it? Did you got some insight for yourself? Was it useful for you? Maybe you got some notes. What will you be using next time in your projects? Let me know. I will really appreciate your opinion if you'll share it in the chat. I know there are many technical moments, but any good result needs attention to each detail, and nothing worth more than getting good techniques and making best decisions when talking about interior. It's never the best using a ready-to-use model. It can help sometime, but sometimes you can waste longer time, more time in adjusting it in your project. So I hope you will use some of these techniques in order to create your own models. It will be better for your scene, it will be easier and faster rendering in this way. HDRI you can control always through simple exposure. So it's the first thing you can do. The second thing you can do using the light mix also gives you opportunity to, let me make it just half a screen to show you first. Up, now this way. So you can always use light mix where you can control easily the amount of light you got from the exterior. Okay, so simple exposure, which affect the entire lighting scheme of your interior, or separately for each layer of lighting you've set up in light mix, you can control using environment in here or any other lights which you have. So you can see the ceiling lighting, additional lighting which I've shown you in this situation. I wanted a bit more daylight effect because my HDRI is more a cloudy effect, does not have direct rays from the sun, so additional lighting helps me bring more light inside. And all the other you want to get, you can set up from here. Okay, hope I was clear. Okay. All you have to do is to add it through a bitmap. I've used Corona bitmap in the material editor, so you can see it right in here. Let me show you. Yeah, Corona bitmap. Here is the loaded map. Then I use color correction to get rid of this yellowness, so to make it somehow desaturated. And then I've placed it in render setup, scene tab, and here in scene environment, right in here. So to place a material right in here, just drag the node from the right, place it in here, and use instance. And here you go, you've got it in your environment. Changing the camera perspective, of course, will affect the scene because lighting will be different from different points, and it is normal, it is okay to be like that. And you will get different result when you place camera opposite the window. You'll have more sharper shadows inside, and of course you'll get different result when you have a different angle. But you can always adjust it when needed using the exposure through the simple exposure or each light separately. Okay, guys, I hope it was useful for you, and as maybe some of you already know that we are not just trying to be useful and help you achieve good results. We are also creating courses that could help you achieve better results with more detailed videos like that. And I would like to present you our course that we are going to start on January 20th. Mastering 3D design from basics to brilliance. It is focused on efficient learning, optimizing workflow, and complete process from very beginning to the final rendering. The total duration is 3 months, and you'll have access to all the lessons you'll have in this course during the 6 months. But during the 3 months, you'll have not only access to the lessons, but you will have all the feedback from us, and you will be able to ask, and we'll be there for you each time you'll need it. We'll be using 3ds Max plus Corona Renderer. Also, we have a very vast curriculum, so you will be starting with introducing to the course, you can see here the entire curriculum. So you'll be modeling the space from walls to finishing touchings. We'll apply different modeling techniques and different techniques that will help you work efficiently. We always think that learning doesn't have to be complicated. It has to be simple. If it is simple explained, and if it gives you that result that you really need. So you'll be studying, modeling the space, and creating all the necessary elements for the space. You'll be mastering the art of creating detailed furniture and decor pieces, importing models if needed to save time, but where you can do it by yourself, it always gives a more personalized touch to your design. So you should know how to create models, you should know how to edit all models, you should know how to adjust models even if you use already to go models. But anyway, all this knowledge can improve you, work faster, make a workflow that will simplify all the process. You'll be working with the natural artificial lighting. We will be working with different lighting scenarios, which will help you get different moods for your projects. You will be able to share different lighting scenarios for your clients, and to be able to work as well with the lighting system and with the artificial lighting, night lighting, or whatever you would like to learn. We'll be creating and applying materials that really looks good, that are close to real life, that have those details that make the difference when talking about realism. And also you will be working with setting up the camera, render setup and framing, and working with the post-production, which can bring even more interesting result for your project. And what sets this course apart? We are focused on practice, so we will be doing all these based on certain practice projects. We'll be using simple tools, but that will have really big impact. We are not trying to teach complexity. We are really sure that simple tools and right techniques can make the difference. This is what that matters, and that point that help achieve those needed results. Also, you'll have tutor guidance and community support. You'll get access to all modules. There are over 30 pre-recorded lessons. There will be step-by-step video tutorials where you'll be knowing exactly what to do, when to do, and how it works. You'll have access to essential resources, including material libraries, 3D models, plugins, and more, and streamline your workflow. Homework assignments with project guidance. We'll be there to answer all your questions, and we'll be there to help you improve step by step. And we'll also create a WhatsApp group where all the students can know each other and will be able to communicate and to get that feeling of being part of a community, which I think is really nice and good for all of you. Usually it brings a lot of motivation. And we have two pricing plans. It is a standard one, which includes all that I've mentioned above. And also we have the premium plan, which has all in the standard plan, plus 2 live Q&A sessions with the instructors, and personalized video feedback on a final project with step-by-step explained adjustments. So the pricing we have today is a special offer that you can access. For the standard plan is just 129 euros, and for the premium plan is 179. instead of 249. What I think you have to do now is to follow your feelings and intuition. If you really feel that you need that improvement, and that new year that comes is the one that has to be better and to make a professional difference of what you've done before and what you'll be doing next, I think now is the perfect time to access the link, which you'll find it in the chat. And if you're ready to come in our community, to be part of Edit Academy, we'll be glad to meet you there, to know you better, to find out more about you, and to help you achieve that next levels of your 3D visualization skills. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm still here to answer any questions you have. In the standard plan, you have video lessons, access to all video lessons. You have feedback from tutors for each homework you do. So you will have possibility to give to send questions in the WhatsApp group or through the homework. And of course, if you want face-to-face meeting, online meetings, will work better for you the premium plan, where 2 live sessions are included. I hope, Maria, it is clear for you. Let me know if you can find the link right there in the chat. You can find more information in there. And if there are any other questions, I'm here to answer. It was so nice to meet you all of you in here today. I really hope that you found this information useful. And maybe, why not, you can share your works after this masterclass if you'll be using some insights. Feel free to tag us on Instagram, maybe, or somewhere else, and to share your thoughts and your opinions. You can find the payment methods right there. You can you can pay online using a credit card. Sure. Just choose the plan that fits you best and go ahead with the payment. Yeah, don't just feel free to share your insights. We'll be so glad to read what you'll be sharing with us. You can use a tag on Instagram, or you can go ahead with some comments on this video later if you want. We'll be so glad to hear from you. Thank you, Maria. Thank you. I'm glad it was useful for you. Okay, I'm for 1 more minute if there are any other questions in here. So the offer is available for 24 hours. Don't miss it out, because after 24 hours 24 hours it will come back to the initial price, to the original price. And we are so excited and waiting to meet you at the course. If there are no more questions, I'm thankful for your patience and for your willingness to be part of this masterclass. So I hope you'll be using this again. Thank you, Natalia. Thank you. Okay, guys, have a nice weekend, and I hope you'll have all the best in the year that is about to come. Thank you for your presence, and see you again in another life. Bye.